Good morning, folks. All right, I'm just going to quickly go over the answers to the Clarity and Precision quiz from last week. So for number one, I never have and never will understand why seniors have to go to school in May. So the reason why you have to add more words here is that you couldn't say, I never have understood why, right? Never have doesn't go with understand. So since never have and never will require a different form of the verb understand, you actually have to say both forms. So you would need to say, I never have understood and never will understand why seniors have to go to school in May. For number two, George didn't know Andy had decided to go to chef school. So you need to add the word that, because otherwise it's a type of sentence that you have to stop reading and then go back to read again, because it sounds like it's saying George didn't know Andy, like he doesn't know him as a person. But then you get to the second half of the sentence and you go, oh, he didn't know that Andy had decided to go to chef school. So adding the word that keeps your reader from having that little hiccup, that moment of being like, wait, what? I have to go back and reread. Number three, the comparison here, the grades I got sophomore year are much higher than my senior year. So the way it's written, it's comparing grades to my senior year. And that's not apples to apples, right? You can't compare grades in years. You have to compare grades in grades. So you could say the grades I got sophomore year are much higher than those I got senior year. And then those clearly is a pronoun standing in for the senior year grades. So now you're comparing grades and grades. And number four is correct as written, because it's fine to, you could say a man who makes decisions quickly, that works. You could also say a man who stands by them. Both of those work grammatically, so you can leave it as is. For number five, staring at my computer screen, my mind was still as blank as it had been 6 hours before. So the problem with number five is that a mind can't stare, right? A mind doesn't have eyes. So this phrase here, staring at my computer screen, can't logically describe mind. It could describe a person, but you actually didn't put a person in that sentence. So you have to add I, right? You have to add someone who could stare. So you could say something like this: as I stared at my computer screen, my mind was still as blank as it had been 6 hours before. Number six, the robber was described as a 6 foot tall man with a mustache weighing 150 pounds. So as written, that sounds like a really big mustache, right? This enormous thing hanging off his face, which is almost definitely not what you mean. And that's because weighing 150 pounds appears much closer to the word mustache than to the word it actually describes, which is man. So I would move that modifying phrase closer to the word it describes. So you could say something like this: Robert was described as a 6 foot tall, 150 pound man with a mustache. That would be fine. And for number seven, oh, I just realized I didn't do that one. For number seven, the way it's written, entering the doctor's office, a skeleton caught my attention. That sounds like the skeleton is walking around on its own legs and entered the doctor's office. And that's not correct. The skeleton didn't enter the doctor's office, right? I entered the doctor's office. But right now, I'm not in that sentence. So I need to add I to that sentence. So I could say, as I entered the doctor's office, a skeleton, did I spell that right, caught my attention. Okay. So that's it. Those are the answers to the quiz. I am posting a review activity that I would like you to complete before you take the retake on Monday. If you have any questions, please send me an email and I can write back to you, or we can meet to talk about it, whatever works. Okay, bye-bye.